travel, get an upgrade. Nilou Motamed, the featured director of Travel and Leisure magazine, is here with really some simple and common sense tips. It's not that hard. I mean, it's harder than ever, but with some of these, gives you a little bit of an edge.
We do have a little bit of an edge, and they're tips, as you say, that are not nonsensical, and that's why they make sense to use them all the time.
So choose your frequent flyer program carefully.
Now, this is an interesting one. You would think, why don't I use an airline that is actually headquartered where I live? In fact, do the opposite. You choose an airline that isn't headquartered close to you, which means that you won't be fighting with all those other elite passengers who are trying to use their loyalty points and therefore getting upgrades, so you're more likely to get the upgrade.
I like this one. Check into your hotel later in the day. What happens?
This is the case where the early bird does not catch the worm. If you check in later in the day, it's more likely there's upgrade inventory left, so there's more likelihood that you're going to get that upgrade.
And they feel they give you an upgrade, you'll be more likely to come back again. And
always. Word of mouth is a big deal with hotels.
You also say stay at a larger or a new hotel, or a big, large new hotel.
And you know, that's the best of both worlds. Go to Vegas, go to a new hotel, you'll be all set. So a new hotel, talk about word of mouth, they really are they're gonna really sink or swim based on how people like them. And so they're more likely to give you an upgrade, make sure you like your experience, give you great service, have you come back. And a large hotel, I mean, it's just about math. If you have 3 suites versus 30 suites, you do the math, you're more likelihood to get an upgrade if you have more flexibility in terms of the number of rooms to pick from.
Now, you say use your online resources, but there's so many.
There are, and we're trained to go online to book the lowest fares, but what about to get freebies? Now, Priceline.com has something that's a freebies section called Hotel Freebies, and basically they have everything from hotel breakfast to hotel upgrades to even spa credits. When I check, they have over 300,000 freebies on Priceline.com, so it's a great place to start.
And you have to know about them to get them.
And that's why you go right there.
And then you say a lot of these hotels and airlines have partnerships. Does that make a difference?
It makes a big, big difference. Now, when you're booking your hotel, mention you have a AAA membership or an AARP card. That can make a big difference. Even your credit card can make a difference. If you have Visa Signature, for example, that gives you automatic upgrades at 800 hotels worldwide.
Here's something I was curious about before we keep going. You know, you read about, if you go online, going back to the online thing, and you know, you see these review sites. How do you know, or is there some tool you can use to try to figure out whether these reviews are real or some of them are fake? Or...
Well, I think you have to use the law of averages. When you go to some of the review sites and you see there's mostly glowing reviews, it's likely that the property is mostly doing a great job. Now, if you see there are only a few great reviews and they seem to be all located close by to where the hotel's from, then you have to you know, take your chances. But I think there are a lot of algorithms now, even for those websites, that make sure that the consumer is protected, because none of us want to feel like we're being duped.
Absolutely. Okay, and then you also say, this is old-fashioned, just ask.
Just ask. If it's a special occasion, mention it. If you just, if you just want to see if they might have an availability. But, you know, the one thing to keep in mind is the person who's at the front desk doesn't have a ton of flexibility. So certainly be nice to them, certainly be polite, as always. And incredibly, actually, recently when we were renting a car, my husband's a tall guy, and we ended up with a tiny little car. And we went back in and said, listen, is there anything else you have? We literally ended up with an Escalade for the price of a Ford Focus.
And it doesn't hurt, just like you said, be nice.
Yeah, always. I think if all else fails, be nice. Whether they give you what you want or not. I think that, you know, long term, if you think about it, they have the ability to mark you in the system as somebody that they want to give upgrades to or not. And I think it's every step of the way. Be nice, be polite, be cordial. Realize they're working really hard to make sure that they're giving you the best hospitality experience possible.
Nilou Motamed, some great advice.
Thank you.
All right, and she's always nice.